peeps? It's your girl Dosh coming back to Frontal Takes. Well, you guys, normally when it comes to my movie news, I like to always wait till the weekend to do it, but sometimes something comes out that's just so nice and juicy that I just cannot wait, and I just want to vent about it right here and there. So let me go ahead and just get into this. This video won't be long. It'll probably be a good maybe 10 minutes at the most, maybe not to pass 15. But this one will have to do with all things encompassed with Evil Dead. I had to come on here and talk about this one. This is one of those horrors that I've loved since I was a little teen. I'll give a quick little backdrop before I get into the meat of why I wanted to come on and just discuss. I remember seeing, this is one of those horror movies I saw that I did not know about I was going to actually see. A cousin of mine took me to see a movie, did not tell me what we were seeing, and when we got in the theater, I was watching this movie, didn't know who I was watching at the time, and at the time it was, of course, Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead 2. Now, she, of course, picked the movie because I was the younger one. She was more the adult. I want to say she was probably, was it 1920? And I was just excited to go out with my favorite cousins to just hang out with. And watching this movie, I'm like, what's happening here? What's happened to his girlfriend? You know, why is, you know, something falling fast with his vehicle? Why is he falling out the window? Why is he possessed? All these things were happening, freaking me out. People being possessed, you know, in the air, you know, floating, just a whole bunch of stuff. I literally was terrified. And by the end of the night, and for the rest of that week, moving to because we saw it on the weekend, I had the nightlight on. And ever since then, I have just kept up with the movie after I got a little bit older. And I remember seeing, because I didn't see the first one, Evil Dead, until after I saw Evil Dead 2. So that's when I was able to go back and see that there was another one made before then. And then, of course, Army of Darkness. So the first one came out, what was it, 81. Did not know about that one because I was a little too young. Did see the one in 87, because like I said, I was 12 at the time. And then, of course, Army of Darkness, when it came out in 90, was it 91, 92, one of those years. And then from there, you know, thinking that would be it, you know, enjoying those three actual movies and becoming a major fan of anything that Bruce Campbell was in, you know, being a diehard fan of the director Sam Raimi. It was just really interesting. Of course, loving Ted Raimi as well. So when they were talking way back in the day, a couple years back, what was it, I want to say 2012, about making a remake, I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I'm just like, okay, why? You know, this thing is beautiful. We don't need to redo that. And I have to always remind myself, even though I say it now, the hypocrisy now will be like, okay, you need to stop, you know. But back when they were making it, I was just like, that one should just be left alone. Why? Like, why? And, of course, as you all know, they ended up making that one. I remember when the trailer came out. And this was, of course, directed by Fede Alvarez, and it starred Jane Levy, and I was a fan of some of her, you know, previous work. So I saw the trailer, and I was literally dumbfounded. I went to the theater to see it. We all had a good time. I will say at the time I was bummed because I thought, you know, of course, you know, Bruce Campbell wouldn't be in it. He had a brief, you know, post-credit at the end that got us really hyped in the theater, but of course it's still not the same because, you know, when you think of Evil Dead, you just think of Ash, aka Bruce. So it was just like, ugh, it just really was just not the same with that part. But the overall movie was good. The bloodshed, whatever, and all that, practical effects, it was really freaking good. And I was thinking, okay, all right, they're gonna probably do a second one. But by then, Fede Alvarez had worked with Jane Levy on a movie called Don't Breathe, and for a moment he was doing a little bit of a kind of like a poll to see, you know, which one you want. You want Don't Breathe 2, or do you want Evil Dead, you know, another Evil Dead, whatever. And we were all like, okay, give us that Evil Dead, you know, even though both movies are great by him, and she was in both. And from there, we didn't hear nothing for a while. So I had been hearing little whispers that Sam Raimi was looking at somebody in consideration to see about starting up Evil Dead again. Of course, you know, with the TV series that came out with, of course, Bruce Campbell, it was epic. I loved it. I love that series. I was pissed after 3 seasons they just cut it off, whichever. It was so much potential to keep it going. And he was like, okay, we're going to move on. I'm going to move on, whatever and all that. You know, it's run its course with me, whichever. You know, I hope, you know, if they decide to do this, whatever and all that, you know, he's, you know, welcoming open arms at the possibility of them being able to figure out what to do with that particular franchise. Now here we are, and it looks like that Sam Raimi has finally found someone who is going to continue Evil Dead, you know, story. His name, he was actually the director, you guys, of The Hole in the Ground, and that was a very creepy movie. So that right there has me excited. Let me get his name correct. His name is Lee Cronin, and at first, knowing that we weren't going to get Fede Alvarez, I was kind of bummed because I thought he did a fantastic job, just, him, telling it and re-imaging it. And of course, being that more female-led base with Jan Levy, whatever. So I was like, okay, what are they going to do with this? You saw it ended in the first one, from the one from 2013. So to know that we're going to get someone who's actually coming in, a brand new person to do it, and he handpicked, I feel very confident. Sam Raimi enjoyed his movie The Hole in the Ground, so he sees the potential with him, and he knows that's definitely, to be honored to know that Sam Raimi thinks that you can, move the Evil Dead franchise forward. That's a good thing. And of course, Bruce having, his feelings, met in regards to this as well. Now they're claiming moving forward, this movie is going to be called Evil Dead Now. I want to think that in regards to the storyline, and let me just kind of read what he says. I want to kind of put it out there. He stated also with this movie, he said, from this point forward, they kind of have to stand on their own, which is fine and liberating. You could have different heroes, different heroines in this case. This one is going to be a little more dynamic. We just want to keep the series current. And the mantra really is that our heroes and heroines are just regular people. And that's what's really going to help it to continue. Now, they stated also, he says the new Evil Dead will feature a female lead like the 2013 reboot, which was with Jane Levy. It says also that each film from here on out, like I stated, it needs to be a self-contained story. Now, the way they were doing this series, the TV show Watch on Stars, with the Necro, I can never get the name out, whatever. No, I write it down for my own stuff, whatever and all that. But the Necronomicon, oh God, tongue-tied. They should be able to change up the stories, whichever, depending on who they're going to be putting in each individual film, if that's how they're going to lead. Like the next one, of course, is going to be female. Depending on how the story is told, that means the next person could come in instead of constantly using the same story like we've had all these years with the previous ones, with Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, and then of course how you see how they did Evil Dead with the one in 2013. I'm totally down for that, because that makes it definitely really refreshing and definitely, like you said, dynamic, and exciting. So it's going to be really interesting. The next one, of course, being with a female again. Of course, I don't know how people are going to, feel about that, being that we did get the one with Jane Levy. They're thinking the next one would be with a guy this time around, but you just, never know. That will be the first one, and then moving into the next one from there on out. Because then it means they can keep the franchise going similar to how they do, and just keeping it going in terms of, like, of course, like, with Halloween and Jason, whatever, just continue, new batch of kids, new slashes being dealt with the new kids, whatever. This one will be different, individuals. It's definitely dealing with the aspect of the book. So we'll see how this pans out. I'm curious to see who's going to be cast as the female lead in this particular one. Looking forward to see who else will be cast. It's going to be really interesting. I will tell you, I'm definitely down. I'm hyped to see where they can go with this. It's going to be very interesting. And also, once they do this, of course, once we get the trailer, whichever, how many years in between when they decide to put this out, depending on how good this next one's going to do. The 2013 one, was, as some people would probably consider more a surprise hit, because they weren't thinking a lot of people were going to come out, because some people were really in their feelings. I remember some people were just not feeling it and wanted to, but then some people, when they were doing their trailer reactions, would, vent at the beginning, then watch it, and then they were like, you know what, okay, I like the trailer, I like the way they're telling us, I like the way, the way the vibe was with Jane Levy playing the character, and how you see how she transformed throughout the movie, and then doing the key part, whatever, and all of that, we're gonna get you, not another peep. Just love the way she looked in full makeup doing that scene. It was so freaking creepy, and I was here for it. So yes, I'm down, I'm excited, I'm hyped. I look forward to watching this movie. Watching that trailer is going to be something I am here for. Let me get my other shirt. As you all see, I just want to note, wearing one of my, my groovy. I just love this. And also, just to show you that I am open to them doing another one, I'm here. But I still have love for the originator. He's not worthy. And I'm going to put his picture up here on the side. I got to finally meet him, and I wanted to make it happen before he gets to the point where he doesn't want to do any more of these, horror cons. And it was just such a delight to wait in that long ass line for him. The line to see him do the Q&A, and then he did the Q&A, and then he went and did the photo op. And that line for that photo op was mad long. We were outside that hotel around the corner, but it was well worth it. It was well worth it, just to get in there. And he's just a cool individual, and just such a so down to earth and just awesome all around. If you all follow him on Twitter, you see how he is on a daily. It's just, you cannot not love Bruce Campbell. He's just awesome. So like I stated, am here to see this. I look forward to keeping tabs on the story as time progresses, when we know who's being cast, and just seeing who else is going to be in regards to the practical effects, who's going to be doing this part. Maybe Sam is going to probably give him a couple ideas, whatever. Of course, get the guy free reign, of course, the direct, whatever, but having a little bit of his input, when he takes over in regards to this, because let's just say if he does very well on this, we'll see if he's going to do the next one after that, because like I stated, we thought Fede Alvarez was going to do it, but he did not, and I was kind of, like I said, bummed about that. But like I stated, I'm glad he did very well, because it got us all, some individuals probably a little bit more rejuvenated. But I will say this, if they doing the story like he said, from what I read, then that's a good thing, because a lot of people are like, okay, you're not going to do what we've recycled all these years since, since 81, and now we're going to get something a little bit different to keep it fresh and exciting, where we won't get bored, like, okay, this is just not needed, whatever. So it definitely, a lot of people are hyped, because it was all over on the social media for a lot of people who follow, a lot of people who talk about all things encompass horror, and I follow a lot of different people, who talk about that. So we're here for it. I'm ready for it. Please, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you all think, and also tell me which one out of the franchise, which ones you like. I really like Evil Dead 2. That is my favorite one. I have a nice little soft spot for the first one, but the second one is my favorite. That will always be my favorite. As a matter of fact, when I did my favorite horror movies of all time, this one was number 2. So I'm not gonna get into what's number 1 with it and all that. Let's just say it's within the top 3, and it's nice and cushioned right where it's at, and that's all that needs to be said. So again, comment below, let me know what you all think, and with that said, I'll see you guys in the next movie news. You guys take care.